We are live. I think we're live. Um, all right, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping here. Something is happening. All right, so I don't know what happened, but it was saying that I was live and then I was not. But this was an impromptu live session for today. But let me just start by saying hi. I hope that everyone you can hear me. If you have time to show up, do that. If you have time to watch the replay, do that. But it's been a while since I've been on this. I've been traveling for the past 2 weeks, and before that, I was just like sorting myself out and really trying to think and feel through what was happening in this group and in the ways that I wanted it to take form and shape. And sometimes it just doesn't work out in the ways that we imagine, but we've got to keep going, right? So one of the things I want to share with everyone is that I will be going live in this group every Friday. And I know this is a private group, but I'll also be sharing these lives on my YouTube channel because it's mostly me talking to the camera. So I thought, why not use all the platforms? And also, sometimes I'll probably have guests and I'll be interviewing people, but this time, every Friday, there will be a camera pointed at someone and they will be talking. Today's live is not going to be long. I just really wanted to talk about this idea that has been coming up for me, and that is chronic early quitting. I heard about this first. I was on Clubhouse. If you are not on Clubhouse, you need to get on there. It is amazing. It's such a great platform. I love it so much. But I was listening to one of the talks, then this guy talked about how we quit early, how we don't give things time. And before I continue on that, and really, I made notes. This is my big note taking book. But before I talk about any of that, I want to tell you this story that really made me go, huh, this is what that is, right? This is what chronic early quitting is. I was at this popping restaurant in Los Angeles last week, and the line was long, right? It was this long line, and my partner and I were just waiting, and we're like, shit, this food better be good because we are waiting right now. And someone got tired. The couple right in front of us, they just left. And within less than a minute of them leaving, the line moved right up to front, and we were the first in line because they had left. And had they waited just 10 more, 20 more seconds, they would have gotten in with that first influx of people that got in there. And I remember India and I, we just looked at each other and we were like, that is a metaphor for life. That is what we do in life. That is exactly what we do in life. We pour ourselves onto things, we work on things, we struggle and we hustle and we do all the things. But right at that moment of the breakthrough, right at that moment where we are about to grab hold of it, we quit. And so, and I wanted, and I thought, oh my God, I have to come on this group, Authentic Living Coaches and Authentic Living Coaching, and just share with you guys this idea of chronic early quitting. So I made notes, like I said, and I think that a lot of us, we tend to mistake hard with impossible. I think we quit early because when things are hard, we start believing that they are actually impossible, and that is not true. The truth is this: the things that we want in our lives, chances are they are going to be hard to get. Chances are we're going to have to work hard. But that does not mean that they are impossible. So we need to work on this mindset, right? We keep coming back to the mindset where when we start feeling pressure, when we start feeling like, oh my God, I'm hustling and I'm not seeing the results, I'm pushing and I'm not seeing the results, we start thinking, well, that means it's impossible, and we quit. So hear me. Point number one for this is that hard does not mean impossible. It just means that you just have to put in a little bit more work. That's all it means. And the second one is when we lose focus, when we lose focus of our emotional why. If you've attended a few of the webinar of the challenges that I did one on clarity at the beginning of the year, and Yvonne and I did one on changing your habits. And in both of those challenges, what kept coming up is knowing your why. Why do I want the things that I want? Why do I want to change my life? And when we can get to that point of really knowing what our why is, that will prevent us from quitting early because we will keep reminding ourselves, why am I doing this? And when you know why you're doing something, we go back to that hard, right? When I know why I'm doing something, the hard is okay because I know where I'm going and I know why I'm going there, right? So it is so important to know your why because then it also helps you not quit so early. So when we lose focus of our why, actually when we don't even know our why, this is why it's so important. Sit with your journal. Sit with your journal, really think about why. Why do you want the shit that you want? I'm sorry, I curse. I use the S word, the F word. So if you're not down with that, I'm sorry, but this is me being authentic and being real. But what I want to say is like, sit with that. Sit with that idea of why. Why do I want the things that I want so that it can push you? It can push you into you saying, when things are hard, I'm not going to quit because I know my why. I know why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Also tied into that why is this I when we quit early, we have no self-awareness. We have when we are self-aware, we are able to self-manage, right? The reason some of us quit early is because we don't even know who we are. When we get to a place in our lives where we know who we know the things that we can handle, we know the temperature of our fire, we don't get burned so easily. We don't get pressured so easily because we know who we are. We know what we want in life. We have clarity. We have passion. We have zeal. We have drive. And right back into it, right? We know exactly where we are going and why we are going there. So when we lose focus and we don't have self awareness, then we will quit early. And also when we have this tendency, this one has been coming up quite often for me. Like I love TikTok, and I've been seeing these TikToks about people talking about people quitting on their dreams and their visions because they don't have support. A lot of us quit on ourselves because the people around us, our immediate circle, our friends, our family, cousins, our cousins don't support us. And we start internalizing that lack of support as in maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe what I'm doing is not going to succeed. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And I want to encourage you and say this today. Not everyone is going to support you. Sit with that, understand that, feel into that, know that. Just because you are not being supported, just because the people around you are telling you no, when inside you know your why, when inside you have clarity, that is no reason for you to quit. Know that not everyone is going to support you and shit. That's okay. Keep going, keep moving forward. Don't internalize that. Don't internalize the lack of support as I need to stop. If anything, that should make you keep going because now not only do you have promises to keep to yourself, not only do you have to impress yourself, but you will be able to look back and be like, yo, I told you. And I also realized that when people start seeing your moves, when people start being like, oh, shit, she's going with her thing, then they start supporting you. But just, it doesn't even matter though. You keep going. Don't quit early because you are not getting support. And the last thing that I think we do, and this is what makes us quit early, is making other people's fears our own. When we take people, so for example, right? I've had failed businesses. I have had failed relationships. I've made big, big mistakes in my life. If I go to you, if you come to me and you say, Kanyisa, I want to start a business, because of the failure that I experienced in business, I might turn to you and say, don't do that. It's hard. You'll fail. It's impossible. Because I am coming with a perspective that is propelled and pushed by fear because of what I experienced. And then you take my fears and you internalize them, and then you don't do what you want to do. I hope that makes sense. So a lot of the times when people say, no, don't do it, it's going to go like this. First of all, some of them have not even done the thing. That's another thing we need to stop doing. Stop asking people who have not done what you want to do for advice. Even when they have done it, understand that their perspective might be skewed by their own failures, their own insecurities, their own fears, and they might take that shit and put it on you, and you quit out of that. So, long story short, do not quit on yourself because of other people's fears that they are unconsciously, subconsciously, and even at times consciously putting on you. Also, realize that people want you to succeed, people want you to do good, but they don't want you to do better than them. So keep those things in mind. And yeah, this is my Friday spill today. This is my Friday of saying, hey, listen, don't quit early. That's all this live was about. This live is to say to you, do not quit early. Keep going. When it's hard, it's not impossible. You can still do the things that you want to do. You can still be authentic and thrive. And before I end this live, I just want to share with you that I will be hosting a webinar that I will not be streaming on this group. I usually stream the things that I'm doing from my Zoom or whatever into the group, but this one will be just for, I will only be hosting it on Zoom, and it is called Get Unstuck and Confidently Reinvent Your Life. I've designed this webinar for people who are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you are sick of being sick and tired, type that shit right there. Say, I'm sick of being sick and tired. This is for people who feel stuck, unmotivated. You don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. And in this webinar, we will be talking about clarity. We will be giving you the tools that you need to connect with that emotional why. And yeah, it's going to be fire. It's going to be just 45 minutes of me giving you some tools that you can use to start that process of getting unstuck in your life and moving forward. And that's it for me for this week. And like I said, I will be coming on here every Friday. I will be dropping you, motivation whenever I feel like it's necessary. And if you feel so called and you want to share with the group, this is not a group that's like, oh, this is Kanyisa's thing. If you feel like, oh, I want to share this with authentic and authentic living, then come on, share it with us. And that's all from me today. And if anyone has not told you today, I love you and you are so worthy of it. Bye.